let's talk about widgets, and specifically widgets we'll see in the sidebar. So right here we'll see some widgets, the sign up newsletter, the latest news widget. Down in the footer, these will be considered widgets. In the blog sidebar we have widgets here, and I think the one last place is where we have a demo here, the Satir page right up here on the right. Here is a page that allows us to add some other stuff. So let's get right to it. In the back end, when I navigate to the widgets page, which we can do under appearance, widgets, and then the first thing you're going to see is this big section that says available widgets, inactive widgets. I don't want to say don't worry about that, but we kind of don't want to worry about this, and meaning that not every single one of these widgets we can use, because basically how you add a widget or use a widget is to grab one of these and pull it over. So let's say for instance I want to add categories to the sidebar, I grab on this and I just drag it over and I add it. Okay, so with that being said, try to stick within the widgets that we're already using on the site. Don't assume that calendar is going to automatically work for you and drag that over, or so forth and so forth. Okay, so first thing we see is right sidebar. Right sidebar is the blog page. So if I come to the blog, I'm going to see in the same order that I see in the widget section, the popular post portion, the sign up newsletter, the archives, latest news, and so forth. So if I look back, the right sidebar, same thing. The popular section, the widget, the archives, latest posts, and so forth. And as we've already covered in another video, these are drag and drop. So maybe I want archives to be below tag cloud. I just drag and drop it. Maybe I want this generic text to be above categories. Drag and drop it. And when you drag and drop and let go, it auto saves. There's nothing to click to save it. So now if I come and refresh, I'm going to see that these now are going to change order. There we go. A little bit of different order, categories down here, tag, archives, and so forth. Same thing. If you don't want these, all you have to do is open it, delete, and you can remove it out of there. Okay? Pretty easy. Archives, tag cloud, just give it your title. These all are pretty self-explanatory. Not a whole lot I need to cover because it's a widget, you name it. If it's an archive, you give it an archive name. If it's a tag cloud, you call it tag, or you call it, tag cloud. Categories, it's called categories. What else is there? Let's see now. Let me check the MailChimp newsletter. That's already encoded to integrate with your MailChimp. So the only thing you need to do with this is change the title. There's nothing else you need to set up. There's no other MailChimp code you got to work with. Okay. Your text one is a little bit arbitrary, meaning you can keep adding text widgets if you like and add as many as you want. So right now we have this text title one. We have a ton of text here. Let me delete some of this out so we can actually shorten this up. Delete. I'm going to save it. If I come to the blog, we'll see how long. See, it has a lot of text to be in there. So let's refresh it. And if we scroll down, it's much smaller now. In this text box, you can add multiple of these. So I can actually come over here and grab this text widget and drag it over. It takes HTML. So if you want to insert images, you want to insert HTML, if you want to do some kind of embed code for something you've got somewhere else, some other widget, like a weather widget or whatever the case may be, you would use a text box to do that. So for instance, let's see, if I wanted to make this bold, I could do the HTML for it. Now I'm not saying you have to know HTML, I'm just saying it's an option for you if you need to do it, and that's the benefit of a text box, a text title box. So I added a bold text for this. Hopefully I did it right, and there we are, we have some bold text. Okay, so that's it for the sidebar widgets. Let's go ahead and jump over to these other ones. Let's go down below. Right now we have right here we have the section for home sidebar, and that's pretty simple. That's just your MailChimp widget and your latest posts. So the home page, that's going to be the 2 in the middle right here. And the only thing you can really do there is change the name or change the order. So maybe you want MailChimp below this one. Drag and drop, refresh. Obviously your call. Alright, that's it for that one. Footer, pretty self-explanatory. We have custom menus that I went over in the menu video. We have latest from category that basically posts to your blog. We have your footer widget. Okay, and this actually has the image and then the URL for where the video is. So if I go back to videos, and if I click this, your video lightbox is going to show up and you can actually watch a video. Right now I have this generic video in there. Okay, and what you see here is the actual image for the thumbnail that we see. That's this right here. The video is above that where it says video. You need to actually upload to the server, and you can't do this through the actually you might be able to do this to the media player. I've never uploaded an FLV to the media player. I wouldn't necessarily advise it. I would upload this to the FTP. But right now I have a default folder called SWF and then the file in there. So we'll see the name of this video is tor.flv. So your videos, you would just upload to your server and then reference the link right here and then save it and update. So when someone clicks this thumbnail, it's going to load your video up. Obviously, this thumbnail is a generic thumbnail. You can use whatever. If you need me to make you a thumbnail with a video player box around it or something, I can do that for you. But obviously, you got to set up the thumbnail how you want it and then the video link. Okay, that takes care of the footer. Like I said, you can drag and drop and add these as you want. You can add 4, you can have 3, but it's really set to have 4 in there. So that's your call as far as that goes. Now you will see that latest news and events is blank. So if I look at this, it's coming from announcements, so that more than likely means there is no blog post under announcements. So let's see if I do in Satir today, if this changes that. I want to make sure we don't have a problem while we're going over this video. So let's go ahead and update. Oh, and there we are. There's your blog post. So before it was pulling from a category that had no posts to it. And right now that current one I've set only has 1. So when you do your latest category widget, pull from a category at whatever post you want, whether that's latest news, world news, or whatever you set up. You can actually set up your categories as we've gone over before. So now I've changed it to another one, so this should refresh. Okay. Alright, we have the home pre-footer. Okay, and that's that little box right here. This one right here with the Satir members, the message from Satir, the shop. And that's this section. Here's your member widget, which basically you add the person's name. I know it's a little manual, maybe down the road. Wish list item would be to have it auto-populate to this section. But for now, as you get new members, you're going to have to pretty much set this up for, for yourself. So you give their name, and then you want to give them the URL where it goes to. Maybe it goes to the profile page, maybe it goes to wherever it would go, but you enter their name and then the URL for each one. And it's going to auto-populate those for you. Pretty simple. Video, same thing as I showed you in the earlier portion of this in the footer. You set your thumbnail, you set your FLV, your file, your video file. You'll do that right there. And then here's your shop dropdown, your text. Right here, I just have some Latin text, the title. Here's the Latin text. So let's say I'll just go ahead and check out our store for Satir books and DVDs, or whatever. I'm just doing this for now. Save that. Alright, that's what we got. This is linked to the store automatically, so here are your drop downs. As you add items to the store, or categories I should say, this is going to expand and grow and show up for you. Okay, that's it for that section, homepage pre-footer. Now we have a sidebar. This is a bonus thing we did for you guys. And if we go to Satir today, you see this menu on the right? These two little widgets. We've actually created a way for you to populate any widgets you want on specific pages. And for instance, let me go ahead and change this menu because it's just too big and looks silly. Let's do support, save, and then I'm going to add another one. Let's do tag cloud. Drag this over, tags, save. This is going to branch off into another portion about pages and templates, and I'm going to do that in a whole other video, but I kind of want to go into it real quick and briefly in this one just so you kind of understand what this sidebar actually does. Now I have three here. This is some generic. Forget that this is Satir today. Forget about what's on this. The important thing is the functionality of what you can actually do with this. And quickly, and like I said, I'm going to cover this in another tutorial, but just to go over and to show you what this actually does, I kind of want to show it to you. That way you kind of ingrain, so to speak. Let's say we make a new page. I'm just going to call this test page for fun. You know, a bunch of text here, text, boring text, blah, blah, blah. Right? Now, we're making a new page. Over here on the right, you're going to see where it says page attributes. And then down we're going to see template. Basically, that's the layout you're choosing for your page to look like. Do you want it to have this on it? Do you want it to have that? Well, this particular page, Satir today, this is the sidebar template. This is showing this sidebar. So you have the option of displaying this sidebar or not displaying it. It's up to you. So what I would choose is sidebar page. Now when I make this page, it's going to have that sidebar. I hope that makes sense. Any page that I make, and I don't mean this blogs, I mean pages, not posts, blogs. Excuse me, not blog posts, but pages. If I want this sidebar to be here, I have to choose it. Otherwise, it's not going to be there, right? So I've chosen the sidebar page. And here's my test. And what do we got? Here's the sidebar page. And here's my generic test page. So basically, you can, let me delete this. Under widgets, you can make a default sidebar menu to show up on specific pages, and that's up to you what you want to be in there. Right now I have a generic custom generic menu and some generic stuff. If you want to have, you know, any of these widgets, any widget that we use on this site, anywhere you can put there, anything. So you know, that's up to you. So that'll do it for this one.